Hey, this is Ian, and in this video I'm going to tell you about what is it that employers really want according to their advertisements. Excuse me. So I did a little bit of research, a little bit of data collecting, I guess you could say, and I looked at advertisements that employers in East Asia, like schools and private institutes and public institutes, and what it is like, what are they saying in their advertisements, like what kind of teacher it is that they really want, what are the key words that they're using. So now I did that a couple ways. I recommend, if you want more details about how I did that and more details just on it in general, I look at the blog post, one of the more recent posts on my site, eslinsider.com, and you can get more details on that. Now I did this for Taiwan, China, Korea, and Japan. Alright, and so I'm just going to tell you some of my findings. Okay, so the number one keyword, now these I'm excluding like words like degree or English teacher or teach English, some basic stuff like that, like you need a degree most of the time to teach in Asia, but mainly looking at adjectives and maybe qualifications that schools would prefer. Anyways, number one, the one that gets the word that or thing that most schools are looking for. Now these are kind of averages that I'm giving you here. Every school can be different, so yeah, there's always exceptions. Number one is experience. Most schools are looking for experience, right? I made a video. I mean, these things are nothing. So these are not really surprising to me because I taught English for so long, or I've been following it for so long. Even though I wasn't teaching, I've been following it for like, I don't even know, like 13 years or something like that. So, number one, experience. I made another video about how you can get experience, but most schools are gonna prefer teachers with experience. And and related experience helps too. Like if you have any sort of teaching experience, that helps. But of course, they prefer actual teaching experience. Now, number two is I can really only say that this one is going to apply for China. Now, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan. The reason why is because there's more of a preference for this in China than there is in other places, and that is for TEFL certification or TEFL courses. And it's a big difference. It's like I don't even know how many percent that is, but that's like 18,000. I found like 18,000 mentions. Like in my research, I found about 18,000, a little more than 18,000 mentions of this keyword, TEFL certification or TEFL course or something like that. But minus 17,000 for China. So that's like it's a pretty big amount. So the next thing, let's go on to the next one. Love children, number 3. These two keywords, love children. Okay, this is a pretty big one. After that, professional. Schools want a professional. Next word, children. Enthusiastic. Schools are looking for an enthusiastic teacher. Following that, we're on like number maybe 7 right now. Responsible. They're looking for a responsible teacher. And then after that, adults. This would be like positions for adults. Now I added up, I'm going to tell you about later, I added up all the mentions of children. Like I mentioned love children, and then I mentioned children, and there's also kids. And added all those related ones together, and I got about 30,000 mentions of this word. And compared to adults, we're a little bit over 3,000. So that's like 10 times. So what that tells you is that there's, based on that information that I've collected, there's about 10 times as many more jobs teaching children as there are adults. Now, you can teach adults if you want, but just keep that in mind. Okay. The next word after adults is fun. We have passion, kids, creative, energetic. We got passion listed there twice. Positive. Now, there's a couple motivated. Japanese ability. Must currently reside in Japan. And before I say the last one, yeah, that's something that's in the other places, like I've taught in China, Korea, and Taiwan, and in those places, it would be extremely rare for a school to say you need to be able to speak Korean or Chinese. There could be a few schools out there like that, but for the most part, it's the opposite. They want you to speak English in the classroom. Many schools, especially private institutes, are English only, and they don't want you to speak Chinese or Korean or whatever. But in Japan, there's a little bit more of a preference for that. These are, again, they're not big numbers, but some schools are like that. And the last one that I have listed here is no experience. So while most schools do prefer teachers with experience, there are some schools that will take a teacher with experience. So what can you gather from this? These are words that you can use when you're looking for a job, when you interview with a job, or if they apply to you, or when your resume, like cover letter and stuff like that, you can use these words. So here's some of those words again are experience, professional, children, enthusiastic, responsible, fun, passionate, creative, and energetic. So all words that are really associated with a lot of jobs teaching English in Asia. Okay, so again, the only differences in the country I found was like TEFL certification. A lot more schools will prefer in China compared to other Eastern Asian countries. Most schools in Japan and Taiwan hire in-country. And teaching demos are more popular in Taiwan and China. And some schools in Japan may prefer some sort of Japanese ability. So there you have it. You can I'll leave a link that you can check out to the original article below. You can see how I got this information, and so you can check it out. Okay, for more details. Thank you.